Welcome back, people. My name is Khalad, and I'm giving you the next episode in Dogs with Every Gun Show. In the last episode, I showed you guys the SMG Big Mags, so naturally I'm going to finish off the SMG category today by showing you guys the SMG Little Mags, the guns that only have 20 rounds in their magazines. And I promise, guys, I will not be using the extended mags attachment at all for any of these weapons, because that's what makes these weapons unique. They only have 20 rounds, and if I do use the extended mags attachment, it's going to take away that uniqueness, so I don't want to do that, obviously. Anyways, enough talking, enough with the intro. I'm going to start with the first gun right now. Now, I know a lot of you guys first knew about the Scorpion when you first played Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex, and it makes its introduction here in Black Ops relatively unchanged. It's pretty much the same gun as you knew it from Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex, and if you didn't know already, this gun is very unique because it is the highest damage SMG at close ranges in the game, or pretty much any gun, I think, because this gun is a 2-bullet kill while most guns in the game are a 3-bullet kill. This gun does 50 damage per bullet, which is pretty insane. But with that advantage, there comes a big disadvantage, and it's that when you step a couple feet back, your damage per bullet goes down really significantly. You'll do very minimal damage, which sucks, but on the flip side of things, you will have very low recoil when you're using this gun, so you can hold down that button and you can have that security knowing that the gun won't jump around, and you can do so without having any disadvantage at all. Now, you'll notice a trend with the SMG Little Mags in that all of the guns in this category are able to be dual wielded, which is cool. None of the SMG Big Mags can be dual wielded. That's what makes the SMG Little Mags so unique, and I'm going to say straight out that I think that the Scorpion is the best weapon to use for dual wielded purposes for two reasons. One, because of damage, because the Scorpion does more damage than the other SMGs in this category. It does suffer a damage reduction from 2 bullets to 3-bullet kill, but it still doesn't matter because it still does more damage after that than all the other SMGs. And the second reason is because of rate of fire. For the Scorpion, the rate of fire is not as large or as fast as the other SMGs, so you will not be using up your magazine so fast, and the recoil won't be so bad. As with the other SMGs, you'll be spraying like so fast, you'll deplete your magazine really quickly, and after you're done depleting your magazine, you'll be pretty much pointing up to the sky because of how big the recoil is for those weapons. So if you want to use dual wielded again, the best one that you can use for that attachment is definitely the Scorpion. The next weapon that I'm going to be showcasing is the Mag 11, and I like to call the Mag 11 a little nickname. I like to call it the Little Mac, almost like that Nintendo Boxer from the Punch-Out series, and I call it that because it's a very small and compact weapon, and it looks a lot like and feels a lot like the Mini Uzi from Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex, if you remember that weapon. And remember, guys, don't be confused, because in this game we definitely do have the Uzi in Black Ops, but it's not the same weapon. This Uzi in Black Ops is the larger version. I guess it's the regular version, while in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex, it's the miniature version of that weapon. And the Mini Uzi feels a lot like the Mag 11 in this game because, you know, it looks the same and also has the same kind of reload animation and different things like that, which is not necessarily a bad thing because the Mini Uzi in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex wasn't that bad of a gun, so that's cool. And the Mag 11 in this game has unique features like no recoil, or little recoil at least. You know, again, I've said it a lot of times for a lot of guns, but if you hold down your trigger, your gun won't jump around. And also the sights, the iron sights are pretty good as well because it's basically just a flat rectangle with a little groove that was cut out of it with a little post in the middle. So again, it's good for peripheral vision, and it's easy to keep that post on the opponent so you know that you're doing good damage to them. And I'm also going to say this even though I probably know, or you probably know it's common knowledge already, and it's that always use Scavenger and Sleight of Hand, because remember, these weapons don't come with a lot of starting ammunition, so you'll probably always run out, especially if you're going for long kill streaks like I am. So use Scavenger, kill the enemy, and pick up their supply bag to always get fresh ammunition for your weapons, as well as Sleight of Hand, because remember, especially without extended mags, these magazines are very tiny, so you can't go for those like crazy triple feeds or any of that. So use Sleight of Hand to always get in the forefront of the action, kill and then reload and then kill again. Other than that, the Mag 11 is a tiny weapon, but don't let that fool you, because in the right hands, in the right person, and in the right setup, this gun can be a very, very formidable weapon for you to face off against. Alright, the next gun I'm going to be talking about here is the PM63, and to me the PM63 is another one of those weird weapons for two main reasons. One is because of the way it looks. It definitely does not look like any other gun in the game, It looks very distinct and unique, and the second reason why I think the PM63 is weird is because of the attachment selections. There are very few attachments that you can elect to use for the PM63 because there are no optical sights whatsoever, so there's no red dot sight, ACOG sight, or reflex sight, so you're going to have to get used to the iron sights because again there's no replacement for them, but they're not that bad because they're almost like the Mac 11. Basically again it's just like a flat rectangle with a little groove in the middle. It's easy for aiming, it's not that bad, and also this is also another weird gun because there is no suppressor. I think this is the only SMG in the game that doesn't have a suppressor for it, so again more to its weirdness like that. And the next thing I'm going to be talking about basically here is just the attachment selection because there's only 4 of them. There's only 4 attachments, and you know, one right off the bat is pretty useless. It's rapid fire. Remember, rapid fire does not work for those really high fire rates SMGs, so I don't know what's up with the game. The second one, again, I told you not to use is dual wheel. Like I said when I was talking about the Scorpion, do not use dual wheel with this weapon because your recoil will be so large, it'll be so uncontrollable. So basically there are only just 2 attachments you can use that are really effective. One is extended mags, but like I said, I'm not going to be using extended mags for this episode, so the only one I'm going to be using is the grip. So either one of those 2 are fine. The grip or the extended mags will suit you well. And pretty much like all the other guns in this category, this gun is seen as an underdog weapon. You will see this gun very infrequently when you play the game, but it's still in the right hands. If you have the right setup, the right person, the right moment, the right everything, this gun can be just as good as all the other weapons in the game, and it can still be a force to be reckoned with. Last but not least, we have the Khepera, and again, this is another one of those weapons where the public doesn't really know how to correctly pronounce the weapon's name, but neither do I. I haven't really researched the topic really in depth, so I don't really know, but I'm going to be calling it the Khepera just like I usually call it, but I heard a lot of ways. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can stress the syllable, like Khepera, Khepera, so I don't know. I'm just going to be calling it the Khepera like I said, and right off the bat, I'm going to say that the Khepera has a lot of recoil, so I definitely recommend you guys take advantage of the grip attachment because that will definitely quell the recoil that this gun has. And if you want something else, another attachment, you can always warlord something else along with the grip. And even if you don't want to use the grip at all, just remember, you know, that's okay. Just remember to always burst fire the weapon because you want those controlled shots. You don't want this gun to be flailing around. You want those shots to be on your opponent and have high accuracy when you're shooting this weapon. And a lot of people call the Khepera pretty much a disappointment because this is the classified SMG in the game, so they expect a lot from it. They expect the classified weapons in each category to be the best weapon in that category, but they don't think so. But I do. I think the Khepera is a pretty good weapon, being that this is a classified weapon, and one of the reasons I like it a lot is the iron sights. I mean, they look almost exactly like the AK-74 used iron sights in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex, so that's a really good thing, and I'm glad it's reincarnated here in the Khepera. And I would consider this weapon one of those diamond in the rough weapons because, you know, when a lot of people play this game, they go straight for their favorite weapon, straight for the most powerful weapons because they want to win, but you don't really appreciate the game as a whole until you use all the weapons like I'm doing here in Dogs with Every Gun Show. And I definitely have found a fondness for the Khepera when I started using it for this episode. So I like it a lot. Again, it's not the best weapon. It's the classified SMG. It's not the best weapon, but it's still pretty dang good. And that wraps it up for this episode of Dogs with Every Gun Show. And guys, I have great news. This series is halfway done. I only have 4 more episodes to show you guys. So I'm definitely really happy and excited to be on the downslope of this mountain. And the journey has been great so far. I want to thank each and every one of you guys who view my videos. I want to thank you a lot because I wouldn't be here without you. I'm doing this for you guys. So this is just a thank you again for, you know, giving me support with the comments and all that and making my channel grow better. So thank you very much again. Until next time, my name is Kidlot and I'm out of here.